First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Harrington here with Davey Portman for upNXT.
Whoa. That means we just got a subscriber, if you heard that.
Oh.
Thank you, Chris Elliott, for subscribing to our Twitch channel.
Yeah, please mute that.
It's muted, it's muted.
Braden Harrington here with Davey Portman for upNXT. PostWrestling.com, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, all that stuff. And of course, live
on twitch.tv/upNXT podcast.
Yeah, every Wednesday night we watch NXT and we talk about it because we are your NXT friends. Friends. And we go live on Twitch every Wednesday night and we record the show. And of course, everyone in the Twitch chat, shout out you guys and shout out anyone listening via podcast form. But if you're wondering what we look like and all those things, you can watch us. We kind of... Any of the shows that are like on the free feed, including Deep Impact, you've been going live for your Impact Wrestling stuff. NXT, we're doing BDE Elite, which is Thursdays, which we're talking about AEW, so we'll be doing that. So we have all these live shows that we record as well, if you ever want to come hang out in the chat and stuff. But welcome to our show. We talk about NXT. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
You all right?
Yeah. It doesn't feel so long since we've done this, I think.
It feels like... What do you mean? It feels like it's...
Yeah, I just feel like we're recording all the time right now.
Well, that's all we do
in
these pandemic times. We record a lot of podcasts. We went live while we recorded our next installment. If you like free shows, Batman Forever. One of the most, what do you call it?
Rewarding cinematic experiences of your life?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'd call it. Yeah, that's dropping for podcast form on the Friday on this very feed for free. But we went live on Twitch while recording it. So we did a show today already.
Yeah, so if you want a sneak preview, you can just click on that on Twitch.
Yeah, true. So can't wait for us to talk about the best Batman movie of all time, realistically.
Batman and Robin next month.
That's the next one. Yeah. But it's the best Val Kilmer Batman movie.
For sure. Best Val Kilmer movie?
Best Val Kilmer Batman movie.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Heat is lit.
I feel like we've seen each other a lot. I don't really know what's new to kind of talk to, and
we've just been hanging out. We're roommates and we hang out. We did the Conor McGregor Poirier fight on Saturday. Yeah. We hung out and watched that. I know I get in shit. I'm sorry. I think Conor's somewhat still of a draw in the world of pop culture. I had to watch that fight. He got knocked the fuck out. He got fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy. We went live for that. That was fun. There was this weird, WWE superstar spectacle show mixed with WWE talent.
Yes,
NXT.
I didn't watch any of that.
Yeah, some of the graphics on that are trippy as fuck. Like, so trippy. Didn't really check it out, but I love checking out wrestling via Twitter, and WWE just shares parts of the matches and stuff. But that was interesting, considering Finn Balor was on that show. We have all the Dusty Classic stuff happening on 205 Live. That's going on, some of the tag matches and stuff. So you can listen to Shot in the Dark, which is free every Wednesday because John Cena's covering all those shows.
Watches everything, yeah.
Yeah, everything, including NXT UK and stuff like that. So that's like a 15-minute show on this very feed. Usually comes out during the day before we go live for this show. And those are all the free shows, including your Deep Impact, talking about Impact Wrestling and... what was even happening on this week's show?
Oh, this week wasn't good.
Yeah.
We had Fire and Flavor Fest, which for me is my front runner for worst segment of 2021.
Wow,
it
already.
Was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, very interesting. So those are all the free shows that we continue to do. And BD Elite will be on the free feed starting February. So many free shows if you like listening and supporting and all that stuff. But patreon.com/upnext. We did a review, Up Yours, with Jason Hagholm. Chatting all about the Royal Rumble 1995, which is funny because Batman Forever came out in 1995.
Yeah, not a deliberate thing, but yes, we had two 1995.
We're just some 90s kids.
We love the 90s.
Loving 90s. Yeah, so go check that out, as well as a top 5 Royal Rumble moments show me and you did. That was a lot of fun going through all our classic Rumbles. We've just been hanging out watching Royal Rumble matches.
We've watched so many Rumbles in the last week, and so many, I'm not sure if I've seen them all. I'm pretty sure I've done the whole watch through before, but I forget things, and it takes me sometimes until halfway through the Rumble before I remember who the winner is of that one. So that's been really fun going back and watching a load of them.
Yeah, we randomly started doing like some WWE Network stuff, which is available on Peacock soon. I guess we'll have to be calling them Peacock watch-alongs, which just sounds funny. But we've been doing some Rumble watch-alongs and stuff. But I think the 2008 Royal Rumble is the best Rumble match. Like watching
it's a good one. It's a good one, yeah.
That's the one where Cena came back as a surprise and just fooled everyone as Superman Cena. But that's probably, watching so many back now, we've just been hanging out and watching them, I really feel that's one of the best ones. Or 2005, of course. Muhammad Hassan is in it.
I don't think I watched it with you, but I rewatched the 2014 one.
Okay.
Which was the one that everyone wanted Daniel Bryan to win.
Is that 2015?
It was 2 years in
a
a row.
Oh, right. It was 2 in a row.
2014 was when Batista won.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time everyone being so angry. Watching it back, knowing that Ray's going to come out number 30 and not be Daniel Bryan, it's actually a very good Rumble in hindsight.
Okay.
Like 7 years removed. We know Daniel Bryan gets his moment. We're okay. We're over it now. But yeah, that was quite interesting going back to, because I remember everyone hating it at the time.
Yeah.
And then you go back and watch and go, that wasn't so bad.
We watched a bunch, and we definitely go more in depth, including your love of Brian Christopher,
Too Cool?
Scotty Too Hottie, and Rikishi. Rikishi's been in a lot of fucking Royal Rumbles.
Been in a lot of Rumbles.
We talk all about the Royal Rumbles in that top 5 show, and your love for Too Cool, and our love for Sparky Plug. We've come to love Sparky Plug in this household. Bob Holly, shout out Bob Holly. So the Royal Rumble's this weekend.
Yes.
Which means we're going to be doing a watch along for this year's Royal Rumble. We got some sort of like pool going on in the Facebook group. I know me and you are going to do a little inside pool with each other, I think, for the show as well. So join us for that. And then on the Patreon, we're doing a little post show for that as well. So we'll be talking about some WWE, but we'll probably end up fucking going live for that as well. So look for that on the socials and stuff. Should we talk about any...
Shall we go into the Rumble predictions now instead of the end? Because I think normally we get a bit petered out by the end. So
yeah, sure.
Let's look at Royal Rumble 2021.
All right. Well, I'll start right off the bat.
Yeah.
There's no crowd, so you're not gonna get these crazy like surprises. I'm imagining, or are we gonna get like Rob Van Dam?
I think we will get a surprise. I think they've moved into trying to treat these pay-per-views as if there's a crowd there. Okay. I don't think they're holding off on things anymore. Yeah. I think we'll get some sort of surprises. I think Rob Van Dam might be the kind of level you're going to get. I don't think you're going to get much higher than that.
Pat McAfee.
You think Pat McAfee?
Yeah.
Why do you think that? Just think he's there?
Yeah. He's been quiet lately.
He'll do it.
He's been quiet. That's why.
Pat McAfee would be fun. I can see them maybe getting a like kind of hurricane level or something like
Sparky
that.
Plug.
Sparky Plug. Oh, I'd lose my mind if Bob Holly
not
came
Bob
out.
Holly, not Hardcore Holly,
but Sparky Plug.
If he came out, holy shit. Yeah, I think that would be cool. What about like Cardi B in the women's one?
Cardi B in the women's.
Bad Bunny's going to be there, and he's playing Booker out to the ring, I imagine. Because he's got the song Booker T. If you're not familiar
with Cardi's friend?
You know what? Bad Bunny is on that song with Cardi B. I like it like that. So, I mean, there is a tie in there that, Bad Bunny could be the link that connects them fully with Cardi to bring it in. You have AEW with Lil Uzi Vert. I don't know if you know that guy, but he's a popular rapper for the kids these days.
Okay.
The hip kid, if you want to call it rap. But the trap artist, Lil Uzi Vert, was for some reason training in the Nightmare Family facility.
Oh.
So I don't know. He's got songs and loves Jeff Hardy.
Okay.
So I'm imagining maybe he comes into AEW and does stuff with Darby.
Okay.
Because he's a daredevil.
Yeah. All right. Maybe.
I don't know. Interesting.
Maybe.
Someone like that. This guy goes flying over like all these people's heads, but I feel like someone out there's like, oh, that's weird. Because I think it's weird. But I'm interested in seeing that.
Well, the Twitch room was saying with those guys playing at the Rumble, surely Booker T's got to be in it.
Yeah, he's gonna play the song Booker T, and
so Booker T will be number one.
That'd be great. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Do it.
Any other surprises do you see? I could see them maybe just getting some of the producers who are backstage.
Yeah.
Like a Road Dogg or whatever come out. Yeah. I know. But I could see that. What about the women? Any surprises there?
Well, that would be where Cardi comes out for me.
Oh, Cardi B in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's Cardi B. She should get the Ronda spot. Just come out after and point to a sign.
Because she'll just have fights, scraps, street fights. I don't know for the women's one. Maybe some callbacks like Kelly.
again. Yeah.
Tori Wilson, who started the whole Cardi B thing, Tori should be in it and maybe even poke more fun at Cardi B.
We could easily have someone like Beth Phoenix there.
Yeah.
I want to, like, people in the room were saying for the men, Steve Blackman. I mean, I'd lose my mind if Steve Blackman and
we'd all lose
Sparky
our mind.
Plug,
Yeah.
Were in it. But in the women's, what about like a Nydia?
Oh, we miss Nydia.
We miss Nydia.
Household. Yeah.
Nydia would be good.
Nydia would be good.
Jamie
Noble in the men's.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but
Jackie.
like trailer version.
Trailer, yeah.
That'd be Jackie who?
Jacqueline.
Yeah, sorry, Jacqueline. Yeah, okay.
We haven't seen her do a great deal.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing Lita.
No, maybe not after things said recently. Who else is there? Oh, Taya Valkyrie. She's recently left Impact. Her husband's on the roster.
Yeah, Morrison.
Maybe a Taya Valkyrie appearance.
Okay.
I think we'll get some surprises.
I like when we see new people that like kind of start like joining the company. I wouldn't mind some NXT guys. That's why I'm thinking Pat McAfee, because he's like been on a roll. Could Finn show up? You know what I mean? Like they should put some random NXT people in there. I think it would spice things up.
They usually do.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some fun. I think I speak for most wrestling fans. The Rumble's the most fun event to watch. Usually we had people over at our house and do like a whole party essentially. It feels like the Super Bowl really. There's so many. You can watch the Rumble with non-wrestling fans too, because you never know who would come out.
Yeah, everyone falls over our step.
Yeah,
don't they? Do you remember our one friend who just
kept falling?
Yeah,
he was here for the Rumble.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like the most fun show to watch. So I'm definitely hyped for
sure.
it. Yeah, I took work off, vacation day for the Royal Rumble, baby.
So winner of the men's, your pick.
Honestly, like I don't watch a lot of the main roster stuff, but I will say I think it makes sense for Daniel Bryan to win it. I imagine.
I'd like to see Bryan win. Yeah,
I think it makes sense. I mean, obviously you could have Edge with the story there, but I think realistically, no, you should do Daniel Bryan versus Roman as your main event.
Well, it depends if they're not going with Edge and Randy, because Randy still seems very locked up with this Bray Wyatt feud, which is awful.
Yeah,
but maybe they're pivoting away from that. So maybe Edge versus Drew, perhaps.
Okay.
Or are they going to put the title on Goldberg?
Oh,
but on. I want Daniel Bryan as well. I think it should be his time, and I want a big Daniel Bryan main event. Would be nice.
I think so. I think why not?
Women's.
I don't know. I would like to see some NXT women show up in the Rumble, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they win it. Last year, Charlotte won the Rumble and challenged for the NXT title, so I wouldn't mind something like that happening again, but I don't know. Maybe Rhea.
I could see Rhea.
Yeah, rematch against Charlotte.
I could see that, and then somehow get the title on Charlotte before Mania. I could see that. I could see Bianca.
Yes.
Because she's got a bit of steam right now. And they've just put out the Chronicle on her, so it seems like they're hyping her up a lot. And I also could see Bayley winning it and just doing that match again against Sasha at Mania. I think they're still kind of feuding, but they've left enough time since their last match where I think you could go to it at Mania and it could be fresh again. And I think like that match from Brooklyn, it's still one people go back to. You kind of want to see it at a Mania level.
Yeah, I do.
So I'm thinking those three.
Okay, I agree. You sold me on that one. You sold me on Bayley now.
All right.
Yeah, do that. So we're agreeing that we think Daniel Bryan should win, or The Undertaker.
So that would mean both are SmackDown, unless it's Rhea.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
yeah, who cares though?
Who cares? Yeah. Who cares? It's the better show anyway.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. So join us for the watch along of the Royal Rumble and our post show and all that stuff. But let's be honest, those are two Royal Rumble matches there, right? On Sunday night. Those don't hail in comparison to a Rumble match that's happening tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, yes. We've been talking about it for so long. The moment has come. January 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Oh, baby.
We are going to attempt the first ever upNXT Rumble. 30 people entering.
Oh, boy.
One person will win. It's every man for himself. Are you ready?
Are you ready? We've done these upNXT BDE Championship games. We've done them for Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, all the WrestleMania and stuff. Well, we did Survivor Series Draft 2. Wei Ting, Andrew Thompson, John Cena, you, and myself. And it got crazy. It got so personal. And it's all about like drafting a Survivor Series team and coming up with trivia and going up against each other. I walked out BDE champion, and we thought, well, how do we book? It's WrestleMania season, so we got to book to Mania. 30 people in a Rumble, and the winner goes on to face me at a future WrestleMania game.
In the main event of upNXT Mania.
Which means there might be other matches on that card.
There might be.
There we
so
go.
you better impress.
Yeah. So 30 people entering this Rumble match, and the winner goes on to face me at Mania. So we got people like Wei Ting, Andrew Thompson, Scrump, Benno, Martin Bushby, John Cena, all these people in this match that we have stacked, plus some of our patrons and friends of the show that have come in. They're all going to be entering, and some surprises, and things are going to go down. It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be bonkers.
We've never tried this before.
Not at all.
We don't know how it's going to go.
We don't know.
I think it's going to be fun. We were on Jordan's Unnecessary Conversations on Sunday night.
Ridiculous.
Where people were trying out their promos. Some were better than others, I'm going to be honest. But that was so much fun. Thank you, Jordan, for letting us be on your show. We've really built this up, and I think if anything, it's going to be a great way to hang out with all you guys.
I'm super excited. We get come join us. It's going to be on our Twitch, at the socials, all the stuff, Twitter, Instagram, at upNXT Podcast, but the twitch.tv/upNXT Podcast, because we're going to be streaming this, and we want an audience for this, because we might be asking you for help, audience members. It's interactive, so look for that. It's trivia games. We're ready to have 30 people enter this match. Every few minutes or so, people come join the match, and the last person remaining goes up at Mania. And I'm a host. You're a host. We'll be hosting this event. We'll be helping move the trivia, more so hosting the actual game with the participants involved. And obvious the bad blood between Wei Ting and Andrew Thompson between everyone. But it kind of sounds like he's
full of excuses this week.
Yeah. I don't know about that guy.
He was so confident a little while ago, and
he's kind of like Karrion Kross.
Now the weeks come along,
Except Karrion Kross actually won the title at one point, but yeah. Or did Andrew win something? Andrew
won
did
SummerSlam.
Yeah, he won at SummerSlam, but then got injured and then just disappeared. I guess he's on the reserves. He's gonna show up like the next Sparky Plug. It doesn't matter if Andrew Thompson wins or Wei Ting wins or John Cena. It doesn't matter because none of these people stand up to me. Their little lungs are too small to hotbox with God. And come the Rumble, it doesn't matter. But I will be watching. We'll be hosting. It's gonna be crazy. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
7 Eastern Time, Thursday night. That's the 28th. By the time you're listening to this, it might be mere hours away. So come join us, twitch.tv/upNXT Podcast.
And if you missed that, the podcast version will go up on our Patreon in some form or fashion.
Yes.
If this game works.
If it works.
So we're super excited for that. We love doing these games, and even bringing on some of our listeners into the match is even more fun. So we're excited. So can't wait for that. Wow, Rumble season is the most fun, and we made it even more fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm excited.
I'm very excited.
We're super excited. So, you can't find that on Peacock.
No, you cannot. Maybe one day we'll sell our archives
to Peacock?
To Peacock or Netflix or something.
HBO Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Whoever gives us the most.
Whoever outbids us. So all that stuff, all the shows, again, follow the socials at upNXT Podcast, and it's great. But let's talk about the show we're here to talk about, and that is NXT from January 27th, 2021. And we start off. It's the Dusty Classic, the Dusty Cup tag team, both a men's tournament and a women's tournament, and there'll be winners crowned. And we start off with Killian Dane and Drake Maverick with a new theme song, I might add. It's like a remix of the Whistle theme.
It started with the whistle. Started with a whisper. It started with the whistle, and then went into kind of some metal, like rock.
It's like playing over that theme. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet mix-up here. It's awesome. And they are going up against MSK, the new tag team here, the Rascals, if you will. Nash Carter and
Wes Lee.
Yeah.
Lee, Wes.
Mr. Wes Lee. Wesley. So Lee and Maverick start this match off, and they're doing drop downs and technicals, and then it's MSK who gain the advantage, and they do this like double team in the corner. I like these guys, and I can't wait to see where they move on to and like evolve here in NXT. But they do this move where it's literally just doing a flip to do a flip. There's no. He waits for the guy and then flips, and then the other guy like jumps at him. It's like, well,
it's to confuse him.
It's like, well, wait,
confusing him.
Why are you doing the flip? I don't. Yeah, I still like them though. There's then like crazy topes and sentons back in. Dane eventually tags in and uses his partner Maverick as a weapon, and then again body slamming Drake while he tags him back in to get a 2 count. There's the MSK guys, the Rascals, who come back with like double stomps and like a kicking combo to Dane. They go to picture in picture, and it's Drake who's working on Lee and trying to make him submit with different arm holds. But when we come back, it's Nash who tags in for the hot tag coming in. They hit their shooting star like double team move.
Yeah, so it's I think it's Carter that goes for the shooting star, and then Wes pushes him so he actually lands onto it.
Yeah.
He always just misjudges.
It's scary. I saw a thread somewhere online that like, how does this, like, I just judge them for doing a move that, like, why does that matter if you're doing a flip? How does that hurt someone? People were like, how does this make it work? How does it hurt more if it's a double team here? I'm like, actually, the way his body is, he is being shoved, it makes it more forced, especially, and you watch this specific one.
He hits him really low.
He hits him. One, it looks like it hurts more. So I actually can defend them in some of the moves. So you see I'm on their side here. I definitely
try it after.
You're doing the flip.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not doing I can't do the flip.
I got this.
I tried doing a moonsault once. It just really hurt my back. Okay? Not happening. So they hit this move, but it's only a 2 count here. There's then Carter who hits a moonsault to the outside, which takes out Dane. Back in the ring. They pick up Maverick and hit the Heart Attack Blockbuster, and MSK win the match and advance in the Dusty Cup. What'd you think?
I quite enjoyed this. I'm happy how MSK look like they're going to be a deal in NXT. You know, their entrance seems pretty cool. Like, they've got the production with all the lights, and their music's pretty good, I think. It's not like they're coming into just a generic track and just walking to the ring. You know, it feels like they're making them a big deal. I know what you mean about some of their moves are, if you don't like unnecessary flips, you're not going to really like these guys. But I think there is more to them than just that. I think they're pretty charismatic. Carter especially, I think, has got a lot of charisma. And yeah, I thought they worked really well against Dane and Drake here, and the right team won.
Yeah, I think the right team wins. I mean, I know Dane and Drake have been this team for a little while, but it's still like a kind of B
comedy
level
team,
comedy kind of thing. And they're doing a fine job, and I enjoyed this a lot. I think MSK, though, it makes sense going forward.
I think it put a lot of steam behind them, and they beat a team that, okay, aren't like your killer tag team, but they're prominent. They're on NXT pretty much every week, so a big win over some names, you know?
So they move ahead, and we'll find out what the different matches of the brackets. We'll give a bracket rundown a little bit later. So I thought this was great. I thought they're hitting their moves. They kind of established that, hey, up-and-coming tag team will be cool. And they have some cool moves. So Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan show up as Pete's dropping them off for school in his minivan. And they show up and they're yelling, but commentary's like talking, so it doesn't. I can't.
This seems to be every week.
Yeah, they don't like Danny
Whenever
talking.
they arrive, they talk into the
It's
camera.
Danny. It's always Danny Burch.
And Vic is always just talking right over him.
I don't understand. It's like, if he's talking, I should be able to hear what he's saying. But they entered the building, essentially. We go to Kurt Stallion, who is backstage with Mackenzie Mitchell.
Sorry, who's this guy?
Sorry, the Lone Star. Kurt Stallion. Kurt the Lone Star Stallion. Mackenzie says, what do we need to know about you? Well, Mackenzie, let me ask you something. Have you ever driven 19 hours straight by yourself? She's like, no. He's like, well, I have. He says, I've been traveling, making towns from Texas to Chicago, and I see some shooting stars when I'm driving, and I look up and I see stars, and I follow the brightest star. I go after it, and I know I'm the brightest star, and I know I'm Kurt, the Lone Star Stallion, and I'm strapping the proverbial rocket to my back, and I'm going to win the Cruiserweight title tonight, and the Lone Star will become a superstar.
I don't know why I found this very creepy.
Oh.
the way it was delivered.
Okay.
I just felt like he was... Even that opening thing, like, Mackenzie, have you ever driven 19 hours straight? She's like, no. Well, I have. I don't know. It just seemed sinister to me, which I know isn't what they were going for at all. Yeah, I don't know if I'm sold on this guy from this promo, and the fact that we keep on not seeing him on NXT is bothering me.
It's like when you're like, hey, Mom, can we have Hangman Page? No. We have Hangman Page at home. It's over here.
Yeah, he's got that. I was getting a Matthew McConaughey vibe.
All right.
Yeah.
I'd rather... Is Matthew McConaughey showing up in the Rumble?
Creepy Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, okay.
Was what I was getting. I don't know why. I might be on my own little island here.
Okay.
But something came off weird. Like, this didn't scream babyface, which is what I assume this guy is meant to be.
Yeah, Lone Star,
yeah.
Kurt Stallion. Like, cool, you could be a babyface, but he kind of sounded not like a babyface. He kind of sounded like a dick. But we'll talk about a little bit of him a bit more. We go to a match in the Dusty Cup Women's Tournament. We start off in the ring already. Aaliyah and Jessie, Kamea. This is a dream team.
I've missed Aaliyah so much. The Robert Stone brand. I don't know what's going on there, but they've got someone new, and it's Jessie Kamea.
Jessie Kamea in new gear.
Yes.
Here. What do you think of this gear? How do you describe this gear?
Interesting. It's like one leg, like full pant sleeves.
It's like Nikos Rikos.
And then the other half, the other half is short. I think she looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
It was different, but I thought it worked for her.
I think it worked for her, actually.
More so than Nikos Rikos, for sure.
Yes, 100%. I'm making a joke, but I know I've said didn't like her character years ago, and she kind of was just really green to me, but this looks like a step in the right direction. Same with Aaliyah. That's why I joked this is a dream team, because Aaliyah looked really good in this match as well that we're about to talk about, but they have to go up against Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, which it already screams bad news for these two. If we're talking about gear, I love Dakota Kai's like baseball gear going.
I like the jersey.
Yeah,
you know I like me a baseball jersey.
You like baseball jerseys?
Yeah.
Do you like baseball?
I love my Shane O'Mac one.
Oh yeah, that's the only baseball jersey you own.
I've got 3. I've got a Shane O'Mac one. I've got a WrestleMania 30.
You better have a Jays.
And I have a Jays.
Okay, yeah. I can't believe you have a WrestleMania jersey and a Shane O'Mac jersey you wear often.
Yeah,
you do.
One.
Yeah,
I should wear my WrestleMania one more. That's pretty cool.
Sometimes you randomly do a costume change in the house to the Shane O'Mac jersey and then just do the fucking Shane O'Mac.
Is Shane gonna be in the Rumble?
Oh my God, Shane's got to be in the Rumble.
Okay, I'm wearing my jersey just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that'll help you. Hopefully he shows up. Aaliyah and Jessie Kamea versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. And Jessie's in here, and she's beating down on Dakota early on. It hits like a springboard type elbow drop sort of thing. There's then Dakota who's running the ropes, and both Aaliyah and Jessie both do the splits, like blocking this move from whatever Dakota was trying to go. And then it's Aaliyah who gets up quick and forearms Dakota here. And as I'm typing it, Wade Barrett says out loud, "This is the best Aaliyah's ever looked." And I was like, yeah, she's looking great here. But Dakota stops all this with a pump kick to the face. There's then Raquel who tags in and hits like a super double spinning power slam, kind of like the Tour of the Islands Jeff Cobb does, which looks great for a 2 count. Raquel then lifts Dakota like in the air to help aid her with a like standing stomp, which is awesome.
Yeah,
they should do more double teams like this. So imagine Raquel like helping Dakota launch for a double stomp to the gut. It's so cool. Aaliyah, though, comes back with a flying reverse into a DDT for a near fall, but it's Raquel who tags back in and hits a Stan Hansen-like lariat and then a Texas tornado bomb, and it's over. And she crushes her.
The height she got on this was crazy.
Crushes
This
her.
was to Kamea, wasn't it?
I think so,
and
yeah.
Kamea's pretty tall,
Yeah.
from what I remember. This looked incredible.
I know that Nia spot from Raw is getting the rounds on like social media and stuff because she nails Dana Brooke. They probably get along. Nails Dana Brooke with that move. It was similar to Raquel's finisher, this tornado bomb.
It looked great. I thought Aaliyah looked good here, as we mentioned. I'm kind of rooting for Aaliyah because she's been kind of the punching bag of NXT for years and kind of the waiting for her to kind of have things click and improve. And I think over the last year, we've definitely seen improvements with her. Some people take to it quicker than others, you know, like Angelo Dawkins was there forever before he finally kind of clicked with Ford and stuff. So I would like to see Aaliyah continue to progress because I thought she looked good here.
Me too. I agree.
And she's a Toronto girl,
yeah.
You know? But I thought Raquel was the clear star of this match. I loved the story of Dakota kind of having a tough time with it and then makes the tag to Raquel and just easily finishes the job.
Yeah, Raquel has definitely grown on me. In the past year, she's gone on to be one of my favorite stars. Like, it's so easy in wrestling. In a turn of a hat, you can become latched onto someone way who was nothing before. You know what I mean? Like, you could become something in really quickly if done right, and they've definitely done the right thing with Raquel. Like, she's become a kind of a must-watch for me on this show, I think. And you know how much I love Io Shirai, but I can't wait for that match because I genuinely don't know who would win that match.
Yeah, because I think
Right?
Raquel has a lot of steam behind her. I eventually see, and maybe this is after the title win, but I eventually see a match between Dakota and Raquel, because although they haven't really pushed it, you can see that Raquel has stepped out of her Dakota's shadow and is now kind of the A player of that team.
And that's cool. With I like them as a team and just friends, acquaintances. It's kind of like Shawn and Diesel, obviously, Lady Cool or whatever, Big Lady Cool.
I really like what they're doing there.
Yeah, I like this. I don't want to. Out of all the matches tonight, there was some good stuff, but nothing that was like a crazy must-watch match if I had to cherry pick. But I quite enjoyed this simply because it helped get Raquel over even more. So it just showed that this is the person you should be watching just from this match. I liked that match. So we go to The Way backstage. This is The Way. Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, and Austin Theory. And Candice and Indy say that they're great and they've advanced in their Dusty Classic because they had their match against Team Goth Bay, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Elena
what
Black.
Are they calling themselves? It's Gigi Dolan.
Okay.
Gigi Dolan and Cora, someone. Their new names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Priscilla Kelly and
right. Elena Black.
Elena Black.
Yeah. The Goth Bays.
Goth Bays.
Yeah,
sure.
love them. I think it's the only time I've ever tuned into 205 Live. Just saying. So The Way are backstage and they're happy about that win. But Johnny and Theory are there, and Mackenzie mentions that he's got a match. Someone's got a match, including Kishida, who's gotten Johnny's number the past few times, and they say, "Don't say that," and he's pissed and he walks off. Candice consoles him. He comes back. He says, "Sorry, don't say Kushida." Theory's like, "Stop, don't say it, don't say it." And they're like, "We just said don't say it. Don't say Kushida. No more words. He got fluke wins. We don't have to say his name. Kushida. Stop saying it." And they walk off. This is pushing me now into the, okay, I'm over it already.
I'm done. I really hate it.
I know.
I really hate it.
Today is the 3-year anniversary of Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas. Yeah, I said his full goddamn name because that's what it was. 3 years ago was that match.
Wow.
Gargano versus Almas and Chill.
Yeah.
Almas versus, what do we always say?
Gargano v. Almas and Chill.
Yeah, that's what we say because it's one of the best matches ever. I'd say, and you were there. You say it's your favorite match ever.
One of my favorite matches ever.
And 3 years ago, and then we go to this, and it's like, yeah, you're a North American champion, but what are you doing? Why isn't this guy a big thing in wrestling?
He's in that unfortunate position of being really good at whatever you ask him to do.
Yeah.
So being asked to do this stupid, badly written comedy routine, he does it well. He performs it well. I think all of them kind of perform their roles well. I just hate it. I hate it. This whole trying to say the way in every single promo they do. All these things that Johnny Gargano hates. He hates wheels. He hates black cats, curses, Kushida, all of this. It's so stupid.
He's like the annoying neighbor in a sitcom who's like the bad guy. It's not something you want to watch.
It's so pantomime. It's so fake. I don't believe that a human being would be like this. And I know this is wrestling, and I know we have ridiculous characters.
Yeah.
But I think Johnny Gargano for so long was Johnny Wrestling.
He's
the guy you get behind because he's a good wrestler. And now this just feels so far from who he is. And it's just, I hate it. I really hate it.
I'm growing to really, it's pushing me every time. And this just felt so forced and so just not creative. It seems like the same joke every fucking day.
And we're trying to build to a match, Kishida versus Johnny Gargano. Why are we overthinking this?
Yeah.
They're two really fucking good wrestlers.
They're great wrestlers. I think Johnny's one of the best wrestlers alive. Honestly, I do. Especially looking back at some of the stuff for the 3 years ago, that match. And I'm like, man, you're the best. You're actually one of the best. And instead you're doing these weird things that literally irritate me when I watch the show. I'm like, what has happened to this character? But I did not like this backstage promo, but more on that later. We have Scarlett, Lady Scarlett. She's backstage as a vignette here of her reading tarot cards. And foolishness tempts the hearts of fate. Pass your wisdom. Elevate others. Such conviction. But it will spell obliteration. So stay on your journey, or he will alter his. Fall and pray. she flips tarot cards over. So we've seen her read these tarot cards before. You know, apparently I learned something. You can't ask to have your tarot card read. Doesn't count if that's a thing. So if someone does it to you, it means
someone
something.
has to volunteer.
Like if I go, I'm doing this for you, and I do it, it has more meaning and like could mean it happens.
All right.
So I mean, it could tie into what she's doing here.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit more on that.
What do you think of these vignettes?
It sounds like someone somewhere backstage goes, maybe we're not so sure anymore about this program, where it's heading to me. But we'll see.
I thought it looked really good. I'm just getting a bit tired of all these demonic characters we have. And Karrion Kross, before his injury, was, he did the hourglass and stuff like that and had the imagery. But now we're going full into witchcraft and tarot cards and skulls and all this. And I'm just with the likes of The Fiend, Alexa Bliss, Abaddon, all this. I don't know if I want another demonic character in wrestling right now. And yeah, we'll get to later on where it seems that this is going. But I thought it looked cool, but I just don't want any more of this stuff in wrestling.
Just want wrestling. And if he's a good wrestler, then he should be killing people. But I'm kind of like, whatever. We have a video package or a highlight for Tegan Nox, who's doing a training video live on YouTube. The Road to Recovery. Tegan Nox and Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Brie Larson.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of either of these two, go check that out. They're working out via Zoom or something.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, they should do more of this.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I really think that's great.
But God forbid you tell us Sasha Banks is in The Mandalorian.
Don't tell us. Don't you dare tell us. Not at all.
But chilling with Captain Marvel, that's all right.
Yeah. Is there more Captain Marvel movies coming out?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the first time I've ever fallen asleep in a movie theater.
Really?
I know.
Okay.
I don't want to get heat, but I'm telling the truth.
It's fine. Like I didn't like it particularly, but it wasn't terrible.
Well, speaking of not terrible, Tyler Rust is in the ring. He's got a match. Tyler Rust and Malcolm Bivens. He's going up against Daniel Gracia. Forget, because they didn't call him that. They called him something Rios. They barely wanted to tell me who this man was, but I am a Toronto native who used to attend Smash Wrestling, and I used to see one of the Buffalo kids here, Gracia. I keep messing his name up. And he's like super technical, and I've seen him on AEW, I'm pretty sure. So it's weird seeing like these like crossover guys.
I mean, they're not signed, and I guess if they're staying in that area, they're going to be used, right?
Yeah. It's cool to see this guy. But he's going up against Tyler Rust, who's kind of on this little streak with Bivens. Well, not a streak, a losing streak, I guess you could say. During the beginning of this match, they do an insert promo, which I'm obviously like instantly like, what am I supposed to be watching here? The beginning of this match because the bell just rang, or this insert promo? I feel like just do it in an entrance before.
You could do it during an entrance, yeah. I don't mind it so much during it, especially that it is related to the match. And I think we got portions of the match that are in commercial breaks anyway. So it didn't bother me too much, especially at the very beginning when not much is really going to happen.
Well, they're tying it up, and Rio here hits some drop downs, but Rust finally stops him and starts working the arm and the shoulder, and then does his like a classic bending the elbow back in the shoulder and then stomping on it like Shayna Baszler or something here. There's then more elbow twists and elbow drops, but Rios comes back with a DDT, and then it's not a DDT, it's a satellite into the DDT, but then turns it into the guillotine, which looks really nice, very technical. But Rust gets out of that. Rio climbs the top rope here and hits a flying like move, but caught in midair from Rust for an uppercut, and then Rust hits his moonlight drive or whatever, the spinning neckbreaker type thing, and turns him over, and turns him into this like Rings of Saturn type submission hold that he's been doing.
With the legs, wrapping the legs around the arms.
And bending back, so like the neck and stuff and the shoulders. So he yells, he gives up, and Rust wins this match.
I thought this was a really good match.
Yeah.
I was surprised because we see it's a guy that they've barely even said his name. He's just in the ring. It's going to be a squash jobber match. And I thought it was a little bit more than that. I thought they gave Garcia enough there that he could shine and he could show off some stuff and have a nice little clip for his promo tape, you know? And I thought Tyler Rust showed off some really different kind of moves that we haven't really seen. And I like his kind of shoot submission style. He's definitely going to mix it up. I know we saw him kind of loosely paired with Thatcher before, but I see us kind of having a bit of a fight pit division in NXT now.
Okay, yeah.
Of all that kind of style. And I think Rust definitely fits in there.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think that's definitely something they're going forward with this show. Like the style of wrestling is, we always think of NXT with the women's division, and they're killing it with that. And then they get like this kind of shoot style, catch can kind of whatever.
I'd almost want a kind of Raw Underground done right in NXT for all these guys.
Shane O'Mac.
You bring Shane O'Mac back.
Please don't.
We've got Arturo Huas as well, who would fit in really well. Anthony Henry's just signed, hasn't he?
Okay.
So I think you've got all these guys where you could make an actual division, and maybe eventually I'd like to see maybe the North American title become the title for kind of that style.
So Johnny's got to be in a fight pit.
Well, I'm saying eventually, if someone eventually drops it to, Kishida would match in there.
Okay,
really.
yeah. He would, yeah.
You could have the North American title more of that kind of mixed martial arts sort of scene, and then you've got your cruiserweights, and then you've got your world title scene for the more traditional.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. That would be pretty cool. I like this direction of the actual like wrestlers kind of wrestling style. Speaking of, we have Finn Balor, who's backstage, and he is about to be interviewed, but Kyle O'Reilly shows up, and he says, "Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I trust you? What do you think? I'll see you out there. I'll see you out there." And they walk off.
It's hard to believe that these two guys live in the same world as Johnny Gargano and his friends. You know? Like, these two just so serious, intense, and then you've got these other characters who are scared of Kishida and Wheels. You know? It just seems so polar opposite.
Yeah.
But I thought these guys played this well. I like that they're keeping this rivalry kind of going. And definitely stretching this story out. I'm really liking what these guys are doing. Yeah,
the two top guys here for a while of these two. Obviously, Finn's the champ, but Kyle has definitely stepped up to the plate, I'd say. Zach Gibson and Drake Maverick, the grizzled young veteran. Sorry, not Drake Maverick.
James Drake.
Too many Drakes.
Yeah, I was writing Nathan Drake, and I was like,
I was just writing Drake.
Uncharted. Yeah,
just Drake. Just Drake's
Aubrey.
in NXT. Aubrey's in NXT.
Yeah.
No, that's the referee. And there's Drake, the ref in NXT, and then there's Aubrey, the ref in AEW. That's weird. Zach Gibson and James Drake, the grizzled young vets. And Zach Gibson, of course, has the stick, has the mic. He says, "Hey, lads, another wannabe team thinking..."
Sorry, do that again?
He said it. That's how he said it.
Okay.
He said, "Hey, lad." I wrote it because he said it. That's how he started his promo. He's getting across, "Hey, I'm British."
Right, okay. He's not British, he's Scouse.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, right. Well, definitely the scarves gave it away that they're from there. So he says, another wannabe team of Kushida and Ruff thinking they can go forward in this thing. We have the one-hit wonder himself, Leon Ruff, and then you have Kushida in jeans. Fucking died at this. And then he says, "You guys won't match up your 15 seconds of fame with our 15 years of being a team. So let's have at it." And they start this match off.
This guy he never needs to say much. It wasn't like he was saying anything particularly important, but it just gets you hyped for the match, doesn't it? He's in and out with his promo. It doesn't drag on. He just comes in, when there are crowds there, usually generates a lot of heat and makes you more psyched for the match than you were before it was announced. So
right.
I love these entrances with Zach Gibson's promos. I think he's so good.
Shoes off for Gibson. So Zach Gibson starts off with Kushida, which is a great little matchup here. I'd like to see this one-on-one where Kushida and them, they're doing like some technical wrestlings, but he eventually tags in James Drake, who does a spinning heel kick to Kushida. Then Leon Ruff tags in, who starts hitting like just kicks to James here, and then he does his like spider sense moves that Vic Joseph calls it, where he's dodging everything from jumping rope to rope like a spider monkey.
His legs, jumping around.
Yeah,
it looks great.
It's nuts. But eventually hitting a Rana to James Drake, and then this flying cutter when Gibson's in for a 2 count. During a commercial break, Gibson's now working down on Ruff and tagging in and out here, but it's Kushida eventually when we're back who hits a hot tag, his cartwheel drop kick, the running front kick, and then levels Gibson with like another one of these kicks and then a octopus stretch, but he finally gets out of it. The Grizzled Young Vets hit a Doomsday device for a 2 count here, which just looked great. I love a classic Doomsday device. What a rush. Ruff hits like a tope to the outside and then back in the ring, hits like the lunatic lariat on Gibson. It goes for a swanton bomb, but Drake pulls Gibson out of the way. Cushy gets involved here, but it gets tossed out of the ring by James Drake, who then picks up Ruff, and they hit the Ticket to Mayhem, and the Grizzled Young Vets advance in the Dusty Classic, winning this match. They did what they said they were going to do in the beginning.
Yeah, I think these might be my favorites to win the whole thing. I really enjoyed this. I thought they worked really well with each other, especially towards the end. It really got going. There was a moment early on where Ruff was with Drake, and he did some cool stuff, but then there just seemed to be this portion where Drake was basically just standing there for Ruff to jump around.
Sure.
You know, like it felt a bit... I'm not talking about the spider monkey bit. I'm talking about a bit after. It just felt like, let's just wait here for Ruff to dance around me for a little bit.
Right.
But after that, I really liked it and was surprised to see no shenanigans. It was just Grizzled Young Vets going over these guys clean, which was surprising to me.
I like clean finishes in my wrestling.
Me too.
Because it's so hard to do that in wrestling. Like, just a definitive
But
winner.
doesn't it make Kushida just look so weak?
I can't believe it.
How can he go for the North American title after a loss? No, I thought this was the right thing. The focus is the tag team tournament. You've got the established tag team going over the other guys who are bigger single stars. I thought this was fine, and I really enjoyed this match.
So these guys advance in this tournament, which means they are going to go up against, like, the Grizzled Young Vets are going to face either Undisputed Era or Thatcher and Ciampa, which is next week.
I think so.
Either of those matches sounds like it could be crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds nuts. And it's MSK versus the winner of Legado and the Lucha House Party next week as well. So that's
you've got kind of more of a cruiserweight side of the bracket.
Yeah.
So that's going to be...
I can't tell you what match sounds...
really entertaining.
What sounds...
I think
great.
next week sounds
awesome.
Next
week sounds good. But yeah, those are some of the matches there. But I thought this match was fun that we had here right now, but it definitely didn't have a certain flow I was quite looking for. Like, it didn't really do too much. I kind of scouted that this was where it would be really silly if Kushida and Ruff won this, I thought.
Yeah. I was just expecting kind of the thing that happened after the match to happen kind of during the match.
Yeah, so right after this match, there's Johnny and Austin Theory who show up and attack Kushida. He fights back, but Johnny super kicks him, and then he hits his final beat DDT on him, laying him out. And as Theory's beating up Ruff, it's Dexter Lumis who just shows up like behind the thing.
He's behind the curtain.
And he's staring with his eyes open like, I'm going to stare at you. So it looks like is that a future match? Kushida and Lumis
I hope
friends?
we're not getting a triple threat instead.
Oh man! Oh my God! No, please.
You promised us Kishida, Johnny, and we get Dexter Lumis.
Oh yeah. We're rushed backstage because oh my goodness, Kurt Stallion has been taken out. He's attacked. William Regal comes in. All these refs. He's like, "What happened? What happened?" Legado took me out. So.
Is this a rib?
It has to be a rib. This guy just can't wrestle on NXT.
This guy has not wrestled on NXT, has
It's in his contract.
And he's been the number one contender for so long. And apparently, if you listen to Shot in the Dark, he's on 205 Live every week. So it's not like he's injured.
Why can't he wrestle? It's like they keep pushing it off that he's not going to wrestle on NXT.
Yeah.
It's got to be a rib.
It's very odd.
So the match is... I guess we'll talk about it in a little bit. But yeah, he's taken out of this match. Because after the break, Regal's pissed. He's like... He goes to Legado del Fantasma. He goes, yeah, you think you're slick, eh? Well, you know what? Next week will be the Cruiserweight match. It's not going to happen tonight. But the Cruiserweight match, Kurt Stallion versus you, Santos, is next week. And if he's attacked again before this, it's going to have consequences. And he leaves. And Legado del Fantasma look at each other like kind of little cheeky. They're like a little like, we got one over on Mr. Regal. And Santos looks at his like little cubby, his locker with his gear, and sees a card like on top of his shirts, his clothes. So he grabs it, and it's one of the tarot cards that Scarlett was reading earlier. And they're like, what does it say? What does it say? The end is near? Okay, let's get out of here. Vamonos, vamonos. And they all run out of there. So, yeah.
So we're probably not getting this match next week, because either Santos is going to get attacked by Karrion Kross, or Kurt Stallion's going to get attacked by Karrion Kross.
Does Kross interfere? Because remember, if you're confused, Santos called Kross out last week.
Yeah, so last week Santos was putting over that he's the kind of the winningest champion in the company. He was like, there are these other losers who couldn't even defend their title and got injured right away.
He called him out like a few times in that promo.
He's called him out a few times. So it makes sense, but it feels like Kross is getting mightily distracted from this title. And I think that's the thing when we've seen in the past. If you don't come back from an injury and challenge for that title you vacated right away, I kind of just don't care about you as much. And we saw that with Finn on the main roster. He was injured for a while. He didn't come back right to an undisputed title shot, did he? He was just flailing around the mid-card. And with Kross having the Priest match, and now it seems a little Santos feud, it seems a bit odd.
It's weird. He can't fight for the Cruiserweight title.
No.
So either he costs Santos the match, maybe. He's like, hey, you shouldn't have talked shit about me, all right, because now I'm going to get in your business. I actually did not expect this. I kind of forgot that he had called Kross out. I thought what he found in his locker was an ace. For the other Cruiserweight title.
Right.
Okay.
That's
legit where I actually went, oh, that's interesting. And then they went, no, it's a tarot card. And I was like, oh, okay. It's,
that makes sense.
So, I mean, either of these don't really, it just sounds weird.
It might just be a little TV thing to kind of tide over until the next takeover and you go to the Kross match. But I'm not interested in Kross in the title picture. So I actually prefer this.
I just don't want to see Kross costing the title to Kurt Stallion.
No.
He's beat so many guys that deserve shots.
They've also made this title seem a bit more legitimate. Yeah. So it makes it feel weak for a
Lone Star
main eventer to just like screw it up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't want that to happen. So
I'm with you there.
Or maybe Kross will take out Stallion too, and then it's like, hey, what's going on? I don't know. It's interesting. Toni Storm comes out down to the ring and has a microphone and calls out Io Shirai. She says, I beat you to win the Mae Young Classic years ago. Don't forget, I beat you. And I wanted to become the first ever Women's Dusty Cup winner this thing. And you took that away from me. And I want my revenge. I want to hurt you, Io. I want to hurt you and I want to ruin you. And most importantly, I want the NXT Women's title. Io Shirai's music hits. Haven't heard this one in a while. Still a banger. She comes down to the ring. She doesn't have her own mic. She takes Tony's mic from her and is like, I'll fight you anywhere. I've already made it clear. I don't like you.
I don't like you.
I don't like you.
He doesn't like you either.
My friend doesn't like you. Tony, hearing this, shocked. How do you not like me? Drops Io. They start brawling. Io instantly gets the best of Tony. Tony retreats here, but from behind is Mercedes Martinez, who attacks Io Shirai. There's like a choke bomb kind of style move here, taking her down. Shades of the Great Khali. And then Tony then grabs the title, but then Martinez is like, hey, like, this is mine. And they're kind of fighting. So Io interferes again, takes them both out. And then Io hits like the bullet train on her. But then Tony attacks. They're all attacking each other. And it's Tony who hits 3 butt attacks on Io in the corner. And then kind of stands off there, hoping she's the next women's champ.
She's got the momentum.
Yeah, the butt attacks.
The big mo. There was this shote Io did in this bit.
Yeah.
Where she was so casual with it. I think it was to Mercedes. She just went like, boom.
Pop.
And then kind of just strutted off. It looked awesome.
That move is nuts.
But I didn't think this segment was great. I thought the attack from Tony looked a little weak to start with. But I am glad to kind of see them finally all mix up. Because they've been building this a while, these 3. And we don't know if Raquel's in there or not. I see this being a triple threat defense before we get to the Raquel match down the line.
Yeah. I didn't find the Tony promo that strong.
No, I'm not buying Tony in this role, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like obviously getting the upper hand on Io at the end with beating her up makes sense, but Io beat both of you up, and it took two to like do it. So it's like whatever, storyline wise.
But I think a triple threat between these three could be pretty good. You've got Mercedes there, who's a veteran, but also a bit more of a base for Io to kind of fly around and do some cool stuff. I think a triple threat would be quite interesting between these three. Yeah,
as long as Io goes on to face Raquel,
I think so.
Take over there. We go to Isaiah Swervscott. He's backstage with his new swagger. He says, I don't know what's the deal with me and Reed, because he's facing Bronson Reed in a rematch tonight. He says, I don't know what's going on. I was just trying to talk to Jake Atlas, and Bronson Reed got in my face, and I'm starting to underscape the landscape here. In fact, the landscape of everywhere, of life, and everyone points the finger at Swerve. So Mackenzie, help me out here. Point the finger at Swerve. Help me out. Do it for me. Point your finger at me. So she obliges. She points her finger. He goes, okay, cool. But how many are pointing back at you? And he walks off. It's not wrong. Not wrong. When you put the blame on someone else, you're really putting the blame on yourself.
I felt there was a kind of something a bit deeper to this than was maybe put across. Do you know what I mean? It seemed just quite philosophical and like he was trying to make a bit more of a statement.
Yeah, you shouldn't be pointing fingers at people.
But they're building up that Swerve basically feels everyone's against him. Right?
He's got his heel motive.
They're always pointing the blame at him.
He hasn't fully turned yet, though.
No, that's what I mean by I feel there's something a bit deeper here. It feels like there's maybe a bit of justification because he was like, yeah, Bronson got in my business last week and everyone is still pointing the finger at me.
Okay.
Yeah, I quite like his delivery here. I thought he sounded good, and I think this look works for him way better. I'm quite enjoying this new character from Swerve.
With his teeth.
His
grills. His Bear Grylls. Bear Grylls, not like the guy. So we have a video vignette package, whatever you want to call it, for Imperium. It's Alexander Wolf, who's now returned to NXT. He's talking here. He says, everything's changed. The landscape has changed here, just like Swerve. We've been isolated, but Walter still rules over as NXT UK champ, and we've held NXT titles, but that's not enough. We need Imperium together because there's power in unity, and we shall restore domination. And Alexander Wolf ends with, my arrival is only the beginning.
So I assume Walter's coming to NXT, do you?
I hope so.
He was all in this video, wasn't he?
He was what?
He was in this video.
He was all in.
All in this video.
Yeah, he was in this video. They showed a lot of him. They talked about him. They talked about all four of these guys being a unit. So we said last week, hey, this is just one stepping stone to Walter, and this is exactly what they're telling us.
And it seems like Wolf is maybe the mouthpiece until he gets there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's weird. He was they're all not really known for talking, I guess.
No. Which is cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Volta. I think that really changes if you're getting Volta kind of full time in NXT proper.
Yeah,
that really changes that landscape and opens up some really interesting matches.
I think so. I think there's a lot of things.
And I hope they treat him like that.
He's good, and I don't understand why they don't treat him like. I'm still hurting from that Survivor Series thing.
Yeah,
I'm still butthurt from that because why did you do that?
I know. I think enough time. That was 2 years ago.
Wow.
But I feel Volta is one of those people that any match against Volta sounds interesting.
Yes.
You go Volta Finn Balor, you go, oh yeah, I want to see that. Volta Johnny Gargano, oh I want to see that. Ciampa, I want to see
Adam
that.
Cole.
Thatcher, I want to see that. Adam Cole, yeah. Kushida, people like all. We've seen these incredible matches against the smaller guys as well. I think he could be a game changer for
Fight
NXT.
pit.
I really do. Oh, absolutely. Him and Thatcher in a fight pit.
Yeah. Him versus Reed.
Him and Reed.
Which we'll talk about maybe a bit more.
I think so many great possibilities if you have Volta on the main roster.
Adam Cole and Roderick Strong are backstage and say, we've gone to war with Ciampa. We've been in battles with Ciampa. We know. But Thatcher, he's like this fight pit. They're tough. He's tough, and he's this guy. We've definitely got our hands full, but we've always had our hands full. We're Undisputed Era. They may be tough, but Adam and I are tougher, and we have way more team experience. And there's no way those two dorks are gonna stop us.
I like how it feels like no one's given Roddy the memo that they're baby faces now.
Roddy, we're not heels now.
Because Adam Cole recently, he's been doing the sign of respect after a match. He's putting his boy over, going for the title. And then Roddy's like, yeah, and then all you other dorks out there. I love it.
Adam Cole's like bigging them up, like, hey, these guys we respect them.
Fight
They're tough.
Pit was awesome last
They're tough.
week.
Yeah, they say last week was great. And
these two losers.
Dorks. It's like, Roddy, stop it, Roddy.
He's the wild card.
Yeah, he's the wild card. Roddy, oh, fuck. Loved it. And, of course, they end with, and that is undisputed. I love Roddy. No, I miss Roddy.
He's so fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to that match next week. Our next match, Isaiah Swervscott versus the Colossal Bronson Reed. Now, we made fun of his gear last week, and I feel bad, but he didn't come out with it this week.
No, I think he listened to his favorite show Up Next, wearing his thing with the little Godzilla, cuddly toy Godzilla on his shoulder. We made fun of it, and he just ripped it right off. Because it was the same vest he was wearing.
I love this dude, but it just looked weird with the toy on it. He looks way cool like this entrance.
I love his Skyline
top.
I think that looks cool. I think his entrance might be one of my favorites right now.
The way the Tron is, the music.
This sort of laser video of him walking through and coming really close
Godzilla.
to the screen. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it works so well. You don't need baby Godzilla.
You don't. He doesn't. And I'm happy.
I'm
happy he took it away. Yeah. I think there's way more cooler things. I know we mentioned like he should have skin like Godzilla or something like textures and stuff. Clearly, he was hyped for King Kong versus Godzilla. With I would see that Reed versus Walter as that King Kong
for sure. Absolutely,
Godzilla,
yeah.
Which I watched the trailer and it looks a little similar to last.
I really don't care.
You don't like Godzilla?
Them. I haven't watched a Godzilla film for so long. I watched the Bryan Cranston one. That was the last one I watched.
And then that one didn't do
I'm not
justice.
majorly into disaster movies. They're fun, but they're nothing I'll ever get excited about.
I'll say.
They'll be like if you went, do you want to go and see Godzilla King Kong? I'd go, yeah, go on then. And
like
I'd have fun.
Yeah.
It's not something I get excited about.
Me and you, when you could go to movie theaters, me and you one day, like one Sunday, we just went drinking on an afternoon and then went to see Rampage with The Rock.
Yeah, that was the one, yeah.
And it's like same thing, right?
For
like,
sure. They're fun. Like, I love going to go and see anything right now would be fun.
I wasn't a big fan of King of the Monsters, and this trailer for the new King Kong Godzilla looks a lot like that movie, so I'm like, okay, I need some substance.
I might have to go and watch, like, I'll do a little catch up. I might get excited for it then.
But then it's been pointed out that there seems to be a tease in this movie for Mecha Godzilla, which I'm like, all right, take my money, let's go. You sold me. I want to watch it because it needs to lead to Godzilla and King Kong becoming a unit and a tag team and fighting Mecha Godzilla.
Okay.
It's a whole thing, trust me.
I'm sure
bro,
it is.
It's a vibe, trust. So let's go to Resident Godzilla of NXT. Bronson Reed versus Swervscott. And Scott gets thrown out of the ring early on here, but instantly like lands on his feet on the outside. Kind of impressive. But then there's Swerve who gets like dropped by his feet, taking a nasty bump on the apron here. Reed then hits a suicide dive, which is crazy considering he's huge.
Yeah.
Flying at this guy. It's a flying Mothra type move. They go to commercial. When we come back, it's Swerve who's in control because during the break he threw Reed shoulder first into the corner post, selling that arm here now. Swerve is just flying around and beating on him, and then Reed eventually like swats him away like King Kong or Godzilla, literally like a throwing the helicopter away. It's like a one-handed spine buster here. Then like the running, I still call it like a hoe train or whatever, like the running.
Is it the freight train? Is
freight
that what
train?
It's called?
Yeah.
I always call it a hoe train too.
We do Was Next, and Big E's our champion right now, and it's every match he's doing it. And
it's
I'm like,
great.
What is this move called?
I think it's the freight train.
Freight train when you run at the guy and do that. Yeah, he hits that, and then a back senton to Swerve here. There's then this awesome looking move, a suplex lift into a Death Valley driver, but Swerve kicks out at 2. He should definitely keep this in his arsenal. Great move here. Kind of like Heavy Rain from Okada. Similar. There's then Reed who goes to hit him with something, but his shoulder gives out, and he starts selling that his shoulder was hurt. Swerve smiles and then starts to beat him up, attacks the arm, kicks him in the head, hits a flying shoulder breaker and a drive-by kick, hits a 450 splash, but Bronson Reed kicks out, and I thought this was it for sure. Swerve is pissed off. He picks up Reed, who's hurt, and says, you got to stay out of my business. You got to stay out of my business, which it just awakens the monster in the Colossal one, who just the face of him turns to the killer mode. Headbutt Swerve, lariats him, climbs up, hits the tsunami splash, and Reed pins Swerve.
Pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
I thought. As I mentioned earlier, I'm really enjoying Swerve's direction, but Bronson seems to be a big deal and is someone I'm getting excited about and excited to see move into that main event picture eventually. His tsunami looks great as well.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of just the classic like snooker splash, but his looks terrifying. He's so big and comes down with all that force. It looks great. I thought this was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, looking back, I think I enjoyed this match out of everything else in the night. I think Bronson Reed, like, you're right. I can't wait to. He's working on the little things now, and once he gets all those things out, he continues to get better and get better. And we're just watching. A fun thing about this show, NXT, and Up Next, is watching these guys who are in NXT, and then they like move forward in their careers and stuff and evolve, and that's what this guy is doing.
He's someone I could totally see. If this was in usual kind of Full Sail, the crowd getting louder and louder for him each week, I could see there being some kind of chant that he has by now.
Yeah.
He feels, even though it's all this weird virtual screens and stuff, he feels like someone who is reaching through and organically starting to grow more and more.
Yeah, it's definitely that vibe, and I want to see more from him, and little by little, he's doing good. The Colossal. We have Tommaso Ciampa, who's backstage in a little video. He says, "I've been doing this for 16 years, and some fights you win and some you lose, and then there's fights that you remember." And then Thatcher pulls up a chair, just like Ciampa was doing in their feud, and sits beside him. And Ciampa says, "Some fights command respect." Thatcher says, "Anguish and trouble brought us here, brought us together, and it's going to be a war." And then Ciampa gets up and throws his chair, and then just Thatcher chilling there.
These are just two scary, intense old guys, aren't they?
Hey, I hate you. I hate you too. You want to be friends? Yeah. You want to beat up other people? Yeah. We're rough men. They were listening to that Undertaker Joe Rogan podcast and being like, "Yeah, rough, tough sons of bitches." That's what we are.
Tim, what have you got in your bag there? That's not a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, they're tough people, these guys.
Real men!
Real fucking men.
I like these two as a team, though. I can't see it being... I don't think it's going to be a long partnership. We'll probably end up having a rubber match, I'm guessing. But for now, I'm enjoying this. Just two
tough
fucking men.
Don't you love two men? They go fucking hunting together. I want vignettes like that. Get them like do manly shit. I want like they're gonna be drinking IPAs. They're gonna be helping each other with their beard
fishing,
oil. Yeah,
hunting,
hunting.
beard oil, chopping wood.
Yeah, I want to see all of that. Like not in a comedy way.
Bottle of Jack and throw the lid away. So we're gonna finish.
Yeah,
this
we're not putting this away. We're finishing it. Yeah, I want to see that.
Fire.
They have cuts or wounds. You just pour the alcohol on it, burn it.
Just gunpowder and light it to sear the wounds.
Wow,
you know.
just that's what I want to see from Ciampa and Thatcher.
Men, what's with all these flippy people?
That's what I miss in wrestling.
Yeah.
Is men, tough, rough men. That's what I want in my wrestling, and I'm gonna
You're getting clipped and gonna be out of context with all of this.
I want rough, tough men. Yeah, that's what I want, and that's what I'm gonna get at. They're going all the way.
Tag team fight pit. Ooh.
Whoa, that's like that match.
team
fighting
MMA thing.
Yeah, that's some scary stuff. Wow, yeah, that's what I want. Tag team fight pit. That'd be crazy. I mean,
wild, wouldn't it?
That'd be nuts. Look it. It's time for our main event, which is Shock the System. Kyle O'Reilly comes out. He's looking hyped. He's ready. And his partner, the NXT World Champion, Finn Balor, going up against the NXT Tag Team Champions, Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. Commentary, of course. Can Kyle and Finn coexist?
They're partners that don't get along.
Oh, no.
What are they going to do?
They don't get along? Oh. But throw them up for Danny and Oney. And Finn and Oney Lorcan start off this match, but Finn kind of gets the best of Oney. They're evenly matched here, but then they eventually tag their partners in. So it's Kyle and Danny, and it's Danny and Oney who like keep tagging in and out and are working on Kyle. But Kyle comes and he's hitting chops and firing back. He's not letting them get the advantage. He's just fighting no matter what. We go to picture in picture, and it's Kyle and Oney tying it up. But then Finn's in. He hits a standing stomp to the midsection here. Oni works on the shoulder and like the arm, and they mention like the history of Finn and his injuries, and he's like bending back the shoulder. Then there's like all these strikes on Finn Balor. Oni continues to work the shoulder. Finn is trying to make the tag to Kyle, but he can't reach, and the commentator is like, "Hey, Kyle could be reaching a bit more to make this tag. He could be reaching. He's just cool. He's cool, Kyle out there on the apron." But Finn fires back with a sling blade, escaping the 1-2, and tries to tag in, and he does. Kyle comes in, cleans house here. I'm talking roundhouse kicks to the gut, to the head, palm strikes, right hands, right hooks, all sorts of things. Danny Burch climbs the top rope and goes for his flying drop kick off the top, but in midair, Kyle drops him into a knee bar, which finishes Danny Burch here, who taps out. Kyle O'Reilly showing Finn Balor, look, this whole match you're getting beat down by both of them, and I tag in and I take him out in one swift motion.
There was a lot of story here, kind of similar to the
match earlier,
Raquel match earlier, but this was definitely more kind of sort of competitive, seeing that they've been rivals and Kyle hasn't beaten him, but Kyle managed to finish these guys off easily. Great hot tag. Thought he looked awesome. But this, do you see these guys dropping the titles before
the Dusty
Classic?
They should. I'm sorry.
Because it's just, you are doing this whole tournament where the winner will face the champions, and you've just had the champions lose to, granted, it's your number one contender essentially and your top champion.
Right.
But they just lost to two people not in this tournament. It kind of makes the eventual prize of the Dusty Classic seem kind of diminished a bit. But I enjoyed the match, and I'm really liking this continuation of the story with Kyle and Finn.
Yeah, I had no problem with the match, but it was kind of quick, and it kind of just was part of the story here, which doesn't really service Danny and Oni, and I think they've done NXT has done a job of making us not really care about them anymore. They're just the guys that continue to get involved and get beat up, or the lackeys for Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of, we love Danny and Oni on this show. We love Danny and Oni, but I think it's time that it doesn't make sense that all these tag teams are going through to face each other, to face these guys. It's like, okay, well, I don't know. It makes sense that they keep them, but it also would make maybe more sense to switch it. But to who's not in a tournament? So it's interesting. To these two?
I mean, maybe.
You could do these two, Finn and Kyle.
These two, and then I'd maybe push towards Undisputed Era actually winning the tournament.
There you go. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk about the ending of this show, because after the match, it's Kyle O'Reilly who just took out both of these guys and tapped out Danny Burch, standing tall. Finn Balor gets back in the ring, goes face-to-face with Kyle, and he's like, hey, good job. We did it. We did it. And Kyle's like, yeah, we did it. Good job. But Kyle is dropped down from Oni and Burch. They pull him out of the ring, and Pete Dunne shows up behind Finn Balor. Finn goes to attack him. It's an all-out brawl here. All three guys are beating up on Kyle and Finn. 3-on-2, and they take out Kyle, and they set up Finn for the finger breaker, where Pete's going to break his fingers. But then Undisputed Era show up. Kyle and Roddy, Adam and Roddy here. They come down, but they're too late because the fingers are snapped of Finn. And they scare off Pete and Oni and Burch here as they all walk off. And it's Kyle, Adam, and Roddy standing, and Finn's kind of more closer to the ropes in the ring. And there's this long shot where they're just staying on this, where you think something's going to happen. Like, is Kyle going to attack Finn? Is Finn going to attack them?
It's in the position of
any turn.
When Finn did his Pele kick to Gargano, or the Seth shield breakup.
Any turn.
You're waiting for it. Yeah.
You're waiting for something to happen here. And what happens is Finn looks back and realizes that Undisputed Era had his back here. And then steps back a few to get in position, in line with Undisputed Era. And looks back side to side, and they all stand at each other. And he stands there for a little bit. And then he leaves the ring and walks off, still kind of standing with them. But a very interesting shot here, a little tease, if you will, where Finn is teasing us that he's in the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, he's either gonna be teaming up with them, or it's just I trust these guys. But also, I think there's a little bit of story there you could have with, why did Cole and Roddy take so long? You know, like Kyle was already beaten down in the corner. Finn was being attacked for a while. I think that's something you can always bring back if you start to put a bit of dissension between this group as well. But I think a pretty cool final image for the show, and left the show with you asking questions, which is always good, and a good image for our graphic for the show as well.
Yeah, the shot of here is like, yeah, of course, like Finn Balor and Adam Cole have ties to the Bullet Club, and of course Adam Cole came to WWE and quickly was put into a group of Undisputed Era, and of course there's been Roddy's been added to the group, and it's been that unit for a very long time, and Bobby Fish has been taken out with some injuries at the moment and stuff, but people are like, oh, there's definitely Finn could fit into that group. When he turned heel, people thought that was what was going to happen, and now they're all baby faces a year later or so, and now it seems they're teasing us with this. So he might be associated with them. So is Finn undisputed? Is Finn disputed here because he's got to decide or something? But I like this.
What I like is, and I'm gonna knock on wood here,
okay.
But it feels like they're actually doing a decent long-term story here, which started way back when Kyle won that gauntlet, which gave him the #1 contenders slot. It seems like from then we've been talking about, like, are the UE going to break up? Well, are Kyle and Finn on the same team? Is Kyle eventually going to be champion? All this stuff. And I feel this is all part of the same story leading to an eventual moment. And they're giving me good matches, and it's not insulting my intelligence. It's not over the top. I think they're doing a really good job here with this story, and I hope it continues and it's not just week-to-week booking, and this is something that's a bit more planned out.
Look, we talk about AEW every Thursday on the BD Elite show, and it could be a bad Dynamite, it could be a good Dynamite. We're always talking about the long-term storytelling that they do. They manage to do that very well. It's little things in wrestling. You don't even have to end up doing anything, but to set little things that eventually go on to do things. It's so easy. And just the shot of Finn stepping in line with the boys, the Era boys here, UE, makes wrestling fans like salivate, and your brains think of, well, what if they do that, or what if this happens, and it's like that's what wrestling kind of is, right? It's an ongoing show that never ends, and it's like, well, yeah, I like these little nods and little touches, and it leaves us wanting to watch next week. Yeah. So they did a good job, I will say. I
thought this was an interesting show because I don't think any of the matches were blow away, but I didn't think anything was bad. I quite enjoyed every match that was on the show. There wasn't a whole lot of story driving forward, but the stuff that was there, for example, this final moment, was good. So I think it was more of a thumbs up show for me, even though it wasn't necessarily a noteworthy kind of spectacle. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It was there wasn't a blow away match. There wasn't anything that really like stole away, but everything was still solid.
It went quick as well, and when a show moves quick, it's normally a good
means
sign.
Good. Yeah. So I'd say thumbs up for this show.
Too.
Yeah, I definitely still enjoyed it. There wasn't anything that really irked me or pissed me off or anything like that. And that's us being Canadians who watch NXT every week on TV, right, every Wednesday night.
Oh yes.
Because it's on TV.
Yes, exactly.
Will it move to Peacock come fall? The USA deal is up fall time. What happens?
I mean, that deal is just US, the whole network deal.
Right. We do not have the network in Canada the same way as Americans do.
I don't see it coming off TV at this point.
Okay.
But whether because it's on... USA is NBC, right? USA is part of the NBC group, yeah? USA,
I guess. I think so. It must be, yeah.
Like, would NXT be able to go on the network quicker if that's the case? You know, like, if they're having it all on the streaming service, would you be able to have the replay of NXT go up pretty much immediately? Yeah, it's owned by NBC. Yeah, so I see it maybe going on quicker. I don't really know how it affects our... I mean, Canada just has, we've talked about this before, a terrible NXT deal. Yeah. I don't get why we don't get it live. Yeah, it's very strange. So it's like, would you air it live on the Peacock thing, if that's a thing? Because is there ways for other people outside the US to get Peacock? I mean, VPNs and stuff like that, right. Yeah. But you should have a more there should be an easier way to watch NXT.
Yes,
you know?
yes, definitely, 100%. I just find it interesting that come fall we might not be able. People saying it could change days. You know, I don't see it happening, but it would ruin my week.
NXT's been Wednesdays for so long.
Yeah, Wednesday Night War, and they would leave Wednesdays. No, they were here first.
It's our night.
Yeah, Wednesday nights are for the boys. So that was NXT this week, and we'll let you know if any Peacock news, but I'm sure you're following the great John Pollock covering all the stuff with WWE news and Peacock and all that stuff. It's great. I can watch Community and then flip over and watch like WCW.
It's true.
It's so strange.
Yeah.
Street fights ahead.
Yes.
All the crossovers you could do.
Michael Scott and Scott Steiner.
Holy, yeah, wow. Which one's smarter?
Yeah, true.
Exactly. There's so many things you could do. So that was NXT. That's what we thought. Let's go to some feedback. Forum.postwrestling.com, the Post Wrestling forum there. We'll read any comments or questions you write, including, would you like to start, sir?
Sure, we start with Mystery. Not a fan of Loomis being a part of the Gargano-Kishida feud, but I guess someone needs to take the pin so they can extend the feud until Kishida wins the title. That Shirai Storm Martinez segment was decent, but keep Tony away from a live mic. She's an absolutely horrendous promo. Also, both Tony and Mercedes posed with the title at some point, and we know what that means. Tony's offense also looked super off. The Finn UE stuff is interesting. Keep Cross away from it, though. Not much else to discuss on NXT. A solid episode through and through, even if it wasn't anything special or super memorable. It's a pretty solid but forgettable episode outside of what I mentioned above, unless you really like tag team wrestling. That being said, with Sari officially on her way over, she had her last match in Japan just this last weekend. The NXT Women's Division is about to get even more stacked. And then a question of the week. I just wanted to comment on how awful Raw was again last Monday. That Asuka-Alexa title match was easily one of the worst matches I can ever remember, and I've been watching wrestling since 2003. It was WCW 99 to 2000 levels of awful. I can't believe WWE is getting $1 billion for that garbage.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
I saw the news about a few wrestlers kind of finishing up wherever they're going and then eventually packing it to WWE. A few Japanese talent there. Obviously, I saw the Sari one, but I'm interested. We signed up for Stardom and we've joined before and we've come back and signed up, reassigned up and stuff. NXT's women's division's the best, and Stardom seems to be great with the Japanese women's wrestling over there. It's like there's definitely some sort of pattern going on where they're taking people and making them stars over here, whether it be like your Ios, your Kairis, your Asukas and stuff. Like there's something they're going to that well quite often, but I don't mind it if it works for them.
I mean, everyone's been great, right?
Yeah.
Who've come over, so yeah.
Yeah. We go to Frank, who says, shout out upNXT Royal Rumble Eve. Pretty decent, good show tonight, coming off last week's superb effort. Stories continue to be furthered as we inch closer to TakeOver. Dakota and Raquel roll on to the semis. MSK look good once more, moving on to the Grizzled Young Vets. And the Grizzled Young Vets won a very good battle with Kushida and Ruff. Excited for both next few weeks. Walter tease, yes please. Cool to see Rios, aka Daniel Garcia, making an appearance, as Russ got a showcase against him in a nice little match. Poor Stallion. I think they're just messing with him and us at this point. Regal was mighty upset though. I enjoyed his fire. Reed and Swerve had a fun match as Reed continues to be booked strong and seems to be slowly building up his way to the card. And of course, Io was awesome. Cool Kyle and Finn, the dream team, tearing it up with the champs in their cool new gear as their dad, Pete Dunne, waited outside until in the car until it was time to break fingers and stuff. Teasing Finn joining with UE, we'll see. See you all in the Rumble. I'm trying to start my road to Fire Mania, not Fire and Flava Fest, thankfully. P.S. Good luck in the Rumble pool. Everyone who hasn't responded, please do so. And I give this one a B grade. I had enjoyable time watching it and everything made sense and I had a purpose with no complaints. Looking forward to the next tag team matches. Ahoy.
Yes, so Frank is in the Facebook group, upNXT Podcast, the group, and is setting up a Rumble pool for this Sunday. So if you want to get involved with that, talk to Frank in the Facebook group. And finally, we go to Magan, who says, solid show tonight. The women's title picture is looking great with Shirai, Storm, and Martinez. Loomis feud with The Way could delay Kishida's inevitable first win. O'Reilly had the finish of the night, and could a possible truce with Finn Balor be forthcoming? I think that's kind of what we saw there. MSK and Grizzled Young Vets are my picks as the finalists for the Dusty Cup. Are Asuka and Charlotte ever going to stop by? Because other than the trophy, I can bet NXT will elevate the women's tag titles instead of holding them hostage on the main roster. Lack of Shotzi Blackheart isn't pleasing. Yes. Question of the day. Imperium followed up Wolf's resurfacing, strongly hinting that Volta could be following suit. Will he bring the UK title across the Atlantic?
Yeah, why not? Have him.
Why not? Have a defense over there as well.
You're right about the North American title, like Johnny has it now, but like to make it more of like the wrestling title, where that's kind of Walter's style. The UK title is that style. But I've checked in and out of NXT UK since it's come back. Obviously, that Dragunov match that we all talked about the last year, but there's been some okay stuff going on there. I want to see where Ben Carter goes and some of the stuff, but I wouldn't mind some crossover. Yeah, they got some talent over there.
It's just whether I assume that they're pretty confident they're going to be able to get him over, by the looks of it. But
I guess
every day and week there are new restrictions when it comes to travel and stuff. I know they're kind of changing the laws here in Canada. Yeah. So who knows? Who knows?
The world is wild.
I would very much like to see Volta back in NXT.
Yeah, well, thank you for listening to us here talking about NXT tonight or today, wherever it may be. And we'll be back. We have BD Elite coming out talking about tonight's Dynamite or this Dynamite. We'll be live on Twitch 1 p.m. every Thursday, it seems to be, twitch.tv/upnextpodcast. We talk about Dynamite. We have the Rumble coming up again, the Rumble tomorrow night, so it's going to be wild.
30 men, every man for himself, and women, and women.
Oh.
One winner. Who will go to face Braden Harrington at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Very excited. It's the moment we're all waiting for. It's tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Rumble, Young Man Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
And then our watch along for the Rumble this weekend as well. All the stuff at UpNext Podcast, Twitter, Instagram for all the stuff. Give us a follow. Help support us. Patreon.com/UpNext. Only $5 a month for North American tier, the Friends tier, if you will, because we have Up Yours with John Cena talking killer clowns from outer space. We did it Up Yours Royal Rumble 1995 review this week with Jason Hagholm, friend of Post Wrestling. We did our top 5 Rumble moments. All the shows up there, all the was next, all the stuff.
I've got my Impact review from last night is also on this feed, so if you want to hear what's going on in Impact, listen to me and Andrew Thompson talk all about that.
And Friday Eve at some point I'll put up the Batman Forever review. We didn't really go into talk about Kiss from a Rose. We kind of just overshadowed that, I thought, because that's probably it's the best Batman song ever. Because it's not really a Batman song. It's just a song they put in the credits.
It's just a song in Batman. I don't see any
relation. It was in the credits.
Yeah.
It wasn't even in the thing. But listen to that review as we talk about Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones beef and Val Kilmer just being a blah Batman. Probably the best Batman movie of all time, to be honest.
Probably. It's arguable.
Yeah. So that's on the free feed Friday nights at some point. So go check us all that. Go follow. Go like us. We appreciate you listening. We hope you're well wherever you may be. Thank you for listening. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And I didn't think there wasn't anything really to think about.
You just step back in your line there.
Yeah, step back in line.
Ahoy!
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.